share information and insights into this process is Julie Van Kampen, the Deputy Commissioning Manager for James Webb. So welcome, Julie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Sean.
So as we listen to confirmation of the secondary mirror support structure release, let me talk a little bit about how things are going to work today. We're looking live at the M.O.C., the Mission Operations Center, at the Space Telescope Science Institute at the campus of Johns Hopkins in Baltimore, Maryland.
Step 020.
And you'll notice that we are occasionally pausing to listen, and that's because we are actually pausing to listen for the live updates from the M.O.C. about the secondary mirror deployment. So as we are conversing, if you see us pause, we're both kind of wondering what's happening next. We're listening for the command because you are actually live with us today for this incredible secondary mirror deployment. So Julie, as we listen for confirmation of the secondary mirror support structure release, how are things looking today? How are things going?
Things are going really well today. Things have worked incredibly well over the past 12 days. We've had moments of excitement and lots of tension as we kind of wait to see how things work out. But overall, great. We're right on or slightly ahead of schedule. It's from the moment where Arianespace was able to put us right where we needed to in orbit. It's been going great.
So what is the first step in today's deployment? And this involves something called NEAs. These are non-explosive actuators. When is the team going to start that?
They should start that soon. Right now they're in the middle of checking out to make sure that the two motors that they use when they do the deployments are working. They do an aliveness check. They make sure everything's ready to go for it before they release the launch locks. And then once they release the launch locks, they'll do a small move of the secondary support structure to bring it out a little bit more than a degree. Check out all their telemetry, make sure that they're happy with how it's performing, before they complete the full move. Then there's a sequence that they'll go through to lock the mechanism into position. Or it's at the right orientation to have the mute captured into the orientation to have the mute captured into the observatory's wavefront sensing system, and so that it can be aligned later on.
Absolutely. So as our viewers are tuning in right now, let's sort of go over what's happening to in the screen in front of them. So as we mentioned, we see some windows into the M.O.C., the Mission Operations Center, into the M.O.C. And then on the left side of your screen, you're seeing an animation into the M.O.C. But this isn't just any random animation. This is actually based on real data. So Julie, could you tell us a bit about what we're looking at as far as this animation here? The Mission Operations Center.
Sure, this is called our observatory visualization tool, and it's a really interesting work between 3D modeling and some telemetry coming directly from the spacecraft
into the M.O.C.
And you'll be able to see this as we go through that. There's some real-time telemetry being fed into a model,
into the M.O.C.,
which then reacts as though the observatory is actually doing those movements in space.
Into the M.O.C.
It's not a video or a model that's pre-programmed to do that. It's actually receiving the telemetry and keeps the model to match that.
We are go to stop the DU motor.
Into the M.O.C.
So they're stopping the motor, they're doing their aliveness check.
M.O.Cing, go.
Okay, go to continue. So Julie, you were saying to me, oh, go ahead, please.
I was going to say, you hear them talking to each other in the control room. Each person has different call signals, different call signals. So you'll hear one person called O.C., that's the operation controller, and you'll hear C.C., that's the command controller. Different call signals, and you'll hear C.C., that's the command controller. And the two of them work together to make sure that all the commands that are sent up to the observatory are exactly what we want to do and configured properly.
And I verify that command queue is in the central window.
Copy.
So OC, at this time, we are going to proceed on to step 022 to disable the ADU critical command.
Copy. That's on the window.
And OC, that looks good. You're going to execute.
Copy that. Executing.
And OC, you have a go to continue.
Copy, go to continue. It's actually based on real data